Thing you want to do is pick a theme. So this is essentially the fonts and colors that's going to be used to design your site. It's not set in stone. You can change them later, and I'll show you how. It's just to get to a starting point so that there's colors and fonts being used on your site. So you can see there's like different fonts here, a little description of all of them. You just want to pick the closest one that you like, and then we can change it later. Or if you don't want to pick any one of them at all, you can just click skip, and it'll just use one at random. The next thing it'll show you are some homepage designs. So with the homepage designs, you'll get an option of 3. But again, it's not like set in stone. You can change the layout of them. You just want to pick the closest one that you like. And then you can change, obviously, the layout. If there's sections missing, if there's sections that you don't need, elements that you don't need, those can all be changeable, and it's really straightforward to do. So you've got the 3 different themes here, and again, just want to pick the closest one. If you hover over one of them, you can scroll so you can see if there's anything up near the bottom, like the footer and things like that. But yeah, you just want to click on one of them and then just pick whichever one that you want, or you can just skip, and then again, it'll just use one at random. The next thing it'll add is pages to your site. So it'll list a few pages that you can add, and these options will change depending on what kind of functionality you've asked for. These aren't going to be the only pages on your site. If there's pages that are missing, if you don't need all the pages, obviously you can add new pages and design them yourself. But again, it's just to get that starting point and build out as much of the page as possible for Wix to build out as much of the page as possible. So for example, we have the about, contact, maybe you don't need the press part. And then you just either click skip if you don't want to pick any pages, or just edit site to start editing your site. So you can see that it's now built out and all done by Wix so far. We haven't done anything to the site apart from pick some pages and some colors. So you're already at sort of like a starting point, and you're not kind of starting from scratch. So this is essentially what the Wix editor looks like. It'll show you the site as is and how users will see it on the front end. And on the left, you have your actual editor, where you'll add sort of your apps, you'll add your elements, add your pages, things like that. The first thing that you might want to do when you first start editing your site is change the theme colors. So again, if you remember, we picked the colors that were presented to us, but maybe those aren't the colors or the text that we actually liked. So what we'll need to do to change that is come to the Site Design tab here, and you can see you've got Site Theme, and you just want to click Customize. And the site theme, you can customize both the colors and the text. So for now, we'll just change the colors, and you can see these are the colors that are currently being used on the site. There's about 5 different colors in the color palette. Just to give you some context on what these colors mean. So color 1 is used for backgrounds and text across your site. If you've added Wix apps like Wix stores, Wix blogs, those pages use the same background and text colors as well. So in most cases, see that the brightest tint, so this one here, is used for the background, while the darkest is used for the text. So we recommend sort of putting a high contrast pairing so that the information on your site is easier to read. Color 2 is the action color. So these are colors that are used in things like links or buttons and menu elements, and it appears in like boxes as well, and they're used to kind of drive your customers or clients to make the choices that you want by selecting an action, whether that's to submit a form, go to another page, things like that. So you want to choose one that kind of contrasts to your background. So for example, if we edit this one, if you click into the color here and click into either, if you know the hex code, just type in the hex code, or you can use the color picker. And then you can also pick the color 2, which again, you want it to be contrasting with the page color. Color 3, 4, 5 are additional colors. So these are just additional colors that you can pick to add to your color scheme. They're displayed in like different places across your site, so you want to pick colors that kind of match and complement the site as well. But the important 2 colors are the color 1 and color 2. And when you're done, you just want to go back, and you can see as I was changing the colors, certain colors on the page was changing as well. So like the heading colors were being changed, things like that. The other thing you could change then is the text themes, and similar to the color, you can have different themes for different text types. So the way the text themes work is that you have 6 different heading types, and you have 3 different paragraph types. So you've got 6 different stylings for your headings and 3 different stylings for your paragraph. And you'll change things like the text size, text font family, things like that. For example, if you click into paragraph 3, you can change the styling so that it's maybe slightly bigger, maybe it's bold, and you can change the color of them as well. If you're not sure about what theme text to use, if you're having trouble getting a good theme for your text, but you do want to change it, you can instead click on change text theme, and it'll give you another styling basically. So you don't have to worry about changing each theme text by yourself. You can just use one of the existing stylings, or you can use your own custom styling. Wix is really flexible in that sense. So you can essentially just do whatever you're comfortable with and what you like basically. Then once you're done, that's your site theme updated more closer to what you would like. Now we'll talk about how to actually edit certain parts of the site. So the way Wix works is you would add sections, and within those sections you would add elements. Elements being things like text elements, image elements, video elements, post elements, things like that. So for example, if I wanted to add an element underneath this hero section here, you can see there's a button that says add section, and wherever it says add section, it'll add that section in that area. So if I click add section here, it'll add a section between the hero and the blog feed that I have here, and you can see that's where it's going to add. You can either create a pre-designed section, so these tabs here will show pre-designed layouts, and they're categorized here. So if you have an idea on how you want that section to look like, you can go through the existing pre-made layouts and pick a section closest to that and change the content, change the layout slightly if you need to. These sections are already sort of mobile responsive, so you don't need to do a lot of work to edit them. All you need to do is just click and drag it over. Or you can create a blank section where it'll just completely add a completely new section, just like that. And then you build out the section fully by yourself. You can just add the the elements to the section here. But say, for example, you want like a 2-column section, then what you would need to do is add something called a strip, and then drag the strip over. You'll see it's a little smaller than the actual section that it's in, but you can give it a different color. So if you can have it on a white background, and then you can have the strip be a different color as well. And then to add a column, all you need to do is click on layout and click add column. And now you can see you've got 2 columns as well. And then from there, you can add elements. So if you click on the add elements button at the top, you can see all of the elements that we have. So we added a strip, but you also have text elements, image elements, button elements. You can have some shapes. You can add galleries. All of these are free for you to use. So for example, if we drag on a heading element, and you can see whenever I'm clicking and dragging it on, I can attach it to a certain column. You want to make sure you stay within the guidelines. By default, heading 2 will be added, but you can add maybe like a heading 4, heading 6, and you don't need to worry about the styling of anything because you've already styled it within the theme palette. You can individually style it, but I by giving it its own, if I click on edit text here and then actually edit the fonts and edit the size, this won't affect the heading 4s on across the site. It'll just affect this heading 4 that we've added. Again, I don't recommend doing this because it can cause inconsistencies in design, and it just won't look very nice. You may need to change the color of it if it's on a certain background, but the font family and the text style should essentially be the same. Another thing you can add then is the paragraph. So again, just click and drag a paragraph over here, and you can see the paragraph's been added. Another thing that you can add is the images. So if you go back to elements and go into the image tab, you can see you've got different options for images. You can either add your own images. So you can see upload images here, just click on that. what it'll do is it opens your image library. You can see it's loading here. And it'll ask you to upload an image from your computer. So if you have images that you want to use on your site, you can just upload it directly from your computer and just click open. And you can see that image being added. In general, it's always good to add your own images to the site just to make it more personable. However, sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes you just need a stock image to fill in some white space while you get an image ready, or sometimes stock image would work better. Wix have a section for media from Wix, and this is essentially stock images that are completely free to use. You can search for certain image subjects, and it'll show you a whole bunch of free stock images that you can use on your website. And then you just all you do is just click into the image and click add to page, and then you've got an image sort of set up for your website. With the images, you can click and resize and drag it kind of anywhere. You can see as I'm building this, I can essentially take any bit of element, resize it the way I need to. So maybe if I want to resize this box so that everything is not on so many lines. And I can also just click and drag it to wherever it is that I want. I don't need to worry about putting it in a certain place. I can just click and drag. So it makes it really easy as a front end builder to be able to do that. The other thing you can do is go on to another page. So if I wanted to edit the About page, all I need to do is go into the drop down, click on About, and you can see the page editor go to the About page. And similar to the home page, all you need to do is click on each section, edit how you need to, add new sections, things like that. If you move on to the contact page, now on the site you can have several contact forms, and you can see they look similar to this. If you click into the contact form, what you can do is you can go into form settings and edit all the forms in terms of submit messages, settings like email notifications, where they're meant to go. You can set notifications so it goes to a specific email. You can save submissions as contacts as well, and set up like submission automations to set up thank you emails as well. The only thing with the forms is that so you can have up to 5 forms on across your website. If you want more than 5 forms, then you'll need to upgrade to the Ascend plan, which will cost a bit more. But you can have up to 5 anyway in your forms. You can update the colors. If you click into the form, you can see the colors that you have, and you can just click customize design, and you can customize the design for any part of your form. All the widgets are like that. Any widget that you see, if you click into it, there's always going to be a toolbar at the top where you can either maybe link, edit text, change the styling. You'll have different options, but there'll always be that toolbar, so you know exactly what your options are for styling the form. So that's the add elements, and then this here is add sections. So this is what we talked about, adding pre-designed sections or adding completely blank sections. Then you have this icon here for menus and pages. So this is where you'll see your site menu. This is the menu up here. So if you want to make changes in terms of, say, you want to bring the blog link up, you can do it here within the site menu, and you can also add pages from here as well. If you click on add page and say how you want it designed. So if it's a service page, you can click on the services templates and you can pick from an already designed service page. If it's a landing page, if it's a general page, you can click through each of these templates essentially and then just see which page kind of works for you. If none of the pages work for you and you want a completely different page and you're happy enough to design it yourself, what you can do is click blank page and completely add a completely blank page and add all the sections that you need, build out all those sections, make it mobile responsive yourself. So Wix is really flexible to all kind of levels of development. If you're completely new, you can just use all of the pre-made selections and just change the colors, change the content, or you can just completely design the pages and content yourself. But essentially you just pick a page and then just click add page, and then go in and change the layout, change the content, and add or remove certain sections if you wanted to. If you have a page that you don't want on your nav bar. So for example, we've added this page and it automatically added itself to the site menu, but actually you realize I don't want it to be on the site menu, not just yet, or maybe later. You click on to the three dots, and then you all you need to do then is click on hide. And so you still have this page on the back end, it's just not available on the front end, and you can go back in and unhide it as well. And then this is the site design icon, which we went over. And then you have the add apps icon. So this is using Wix's app market. Wix's app market is how you would add different functionality. So as I said earlier, if you wanted to add, for example, an online store, all you need to do is go into Wix app market and look for Wix stores. And you can see there's also loads of other Wix business solutions, things like, so we've already got Wix blog, but you can also have Wix events and tickets, Wix bookings, Wix stores, and you can see these are all free to install. You just want to click into it and then just click add to site. And depending on what app that you add, it'll add all the functionality and all the required pages. So for example, with Wix stores, there'll be additional pages like the shop page, product page, checkout and cart page. Those will all be automatically added within Wix stores, and all you need to do is change the content and change sort of layout, similar to how you design everything else. You can see now that it's been added. You can see all the new pages being added. If you go back to site menu, you can see the store pages, and site menu, you've got the shop page. Within store pages, you've got the product category page, cart page. You've got blog pages like the blog posts and post pages. So yeah, it's really easy to add apps later on if you wanted to. The next thing then is the My Business tab, and this is just a tab where you can really organize what's left in order to set up the rest of the apps that you've got. So for example, Wix blog, it'll show you the steps that you need to start and share your experience with Wix. So how many steps here, you can create posts, manage posts, things like that. Wix stores, it also shows you step by step what's left to do in order to get the most out of the Wix platform. And then you've got the media tab, and this is where all of your images are stored, upload media, site files. You can even just directly add media from here as well. And then you got your content manager, and this is more for content collections and to create sort of dynamic pages, things like collection pages as well. As you're creating pages and adding sections, removing sections, Wix will automatically save your site within each save, but it's also good to just save by yourself as well. So if just by clicking the save button will save your site essentially. What it will do is ask you to choose a domain to save to your site. So Wix will give you a free domain, which is essentially your username.wixsite.com / the name of your site. So you want to click save and continue. So that's your site saved. And then that's all your changes saved as well. Not published yet. We'll go over that in a minute. So this is your Wix dashboard, and this is what you'll see sort of before you start editing the site. The overview of the dashboard will show you remaining steps left to do. So for example, we just added the store, so it's showing, telling you to add different products, set up shipping and delivery, and set up payment methods, connecting a custom domain, things like that. And then on the left here is where you'll see the other options that you have. So for example, you've got the blog here. So if you click into blog, this is where you'll see an overview of all of the blogs. So if you wanted to add a blog, you actually go into the dashboard and you click into blog, and then you'll be able to add the blog from there. You'll see an overview of the blog dashboard. So right now you don't have any posts yet. So to create a new one, you just click on create new post, and it'll open a blank version of the blog. So adding a blog, it's very similar to Wix in that you're just adding the content, but Wix site builder, I mean. But the only thing you're doing is adding content. You're not building layouts or anything like that. So all you need to do is add a title, which is essentially the name of the blog. And then you want to start writing your posts as well. And this is just directly in here. You can either paste the blog post content from maybe a Word doc, or you can just type directly all of the post content. And this works similar to like a Google Doc editor or Microsoft Word editor, where you can add sort of paragraph text, and you can add heading text, and you can sort of format the text as well with like sizing, formatting, colors, things like that. Within the blog, you can also add categories. You can also add images as well. And this will be good to add any images to break up really like long chunks of text. So if you have long chunks of text, I recommend using headings and images to kind of break it up a little bit, just to make it easy to read for the user. And Google do keep mind of that. If they see a long chunk of text without any headings or images to break it up, it'll basically mark it as hard to read, basically. So you want to make sure that you use as much of the media as possible to kind of make your text as easy to read. You can either save your changes, or you can publish directly. And if you publish, it'll show on the front end of your site on the blog page. Then here you've got the store products, and this is essentially where you would add the different products of your site.
To add a new product, what you want to do is go into the products tab and click add new product. And from there you'll be given an option and if you want a physical product or a digital file. So Wix gives you the option to basically sell two different kinds of products. So physical products being something, tangible, something that you would need to post out or they would need to collect. Things like t-shirts, accessories, food, anything like that, anything where it's a tangible item, you want to make sure that then you add it as a physical product. And the other option then is a digital file. So these are things like images, any video files, PDFs, ebooks, things like that. Things that users, once they buy it, it's something that they download and nothing that needs to be like shipped out or anything. This is really good if you do have maybe like PDFs or ebooks that you want to sell. And what happens is when someone buys the product, instead of you having to manually send that product to them, they get sent the product automatically through an email. So you don't need to worry about sending anything separately. So depending on what kind of file or what kind of product that you want to do, you just need to select that from there. For now we'll do physical product, but I'll show you how to add a digital product as well afterwards. So you click on physical product, and then it'll show you sort of like the blank back-end version of the physical product, and you just go through each field and just type in all the product information. So the first thing you want to type in then is the product title. So if you're selling food, if you're selling clothes, things like that, you just type in the name of the product. And this is what users will see on the front end as well as the name of the product. And then the next thing then you want to add is the images, and these are basically the product images. So you want to make sure you pick good images that kind of accurately display what the product is. To do that, you just click on add images, and it'll open up the Wix media library. With the Wix media library, you can upload your own files. You can also use media from Wix. This would be better to use, I guess, if you're setting up new pages and you need some placeholder content. For product images, you want to make sure that you're using images of the actual product itself, just so then users know exactly what they're buying, especially for things like clothes, because they tend to be, the more accurate that they are online, like the photos, the less chance there are for any returns that someone might need to make. And you can add images as you want. Obviously it's good to match as many products as you have, but for Wix, the max images that you can add to each product is about 15. And what you can also do is add videos as well. So if you have a product video that kind of maybe describes the products or shows the products being worn, you can also add that as well. And the next thing that you want to do then is the product information. So these are things like basic information like the woolly hat, the name, and the description. So the description will show on the product page itself, and you want to make sure you keep the description as accurate as possible. So if it's a clothing item, then you want to make sure that you're writing about like size, dimensions, material, things like that. Just keep it as accurate as possible to minimize the chance of returns. And then the next thing then you can add is a ribbon, as ribbon text basically, and what that is just a little label that gets added to the product on the product page so that it kind of stands out a bit. So if you have the label as new arrival, then the little label will show up on the product itself and it will say new arrival, or if it's like a sale product or bestseller, something like that. Just something to kind of make this specific product stand out and increase your sales for it. But whatever it is, you just need to type in that information here and then just type in the description here. Within the description as well, you can sort of bold and italicize certain text. You can format it with the formatting options here, and you can also change the color of it. Just to, as a reminder, so on the single product page, you can design that how you want, and that means also when you're adding in the description text, you can set that to any color that you want on the single page on the front end. But you can also change it here if you need to. And then you can also link as well. And the other section then is additional info sections. So basically additional info sections allow you to add other sections to the single product page and kind of highlight those areas. So if you wanted to add another section, for example, delivery methods for this specific products, or how to care for your products, it'll show up in its own section with its own title. So whatever title that you give it, so for example, how to care for your product, that'll show up as a new section on the single product page, and then you would just type in the information, whatever it is, in the description here. And same as the description field above, you can format it in any way you want. You can add links and things like that. And you can add a few more info sections if you wanted to. It's just a bit more information that you can add that kind of stands out from the previous description. The next thing you want to add then is the pricing. And depending on how you're selling this product, this could be done differently. So if this is a product that only has one, that you can only buy in one way, so maybe it's one size, one color, then it'll only have one price. So we'll just set it to whatever price it is. If it's a sale product, you can click on sale, and instead of typing in you can either type in what the sale price is, or you can type in what the discount is. So if it's a 10% discount, it'll automatically calculate the sale price, or you can do a pound discount as well. So depending on what kind of discount it is, you can just type in what the discount amount is, and it'll show up on the site as a discounted item and whatever the discount is. You can also show the price per unit. So that allows customers to see the price based on fixed amounts of it. So if you click on that, they can see how much it would be to buy a certain amount of product, basically. And the other thing then is the cost of goods and the profit margin. And this is more for back-end use. So if you know how much it is to cost, it is costing you to make this product, it'll calculate sort of the profit and margin for you. And again, this is just for back-end use, so this isn't something that your customers will see, but it just means later on, whenever you're doing any kind of reporting features on this, it'll kind of give you an indication of how much profit you're making per item, but your customers won't see this. The other thing with the pricing then is sometimes you can sell a product but it has different size options or different color options or different basically attributes that people can select, and maybe those attributes have different pricing. So Wix allows you to make basically different options for a single product, and then allows you to price them and stock them individually. So for example, say this hat, if it comes in maybe 2 different colors, in black and white, what we need to do then is set the base pricing, and then we need to come down to product options and click add options, and you want to type in what the option name is. So if it's a color option, if it's a size option, if it's a weight option, whatever option it is, you can type in the name. Wix already have size and color sort of set up, but you can also, but if the option isn't either of those, you can just type in your own one. For this example, we'll just use color. And then once you've typed in what the option is, then you need to type in what the actual options are. So we'll say black, and we'll also say white as the color options. If the color options that you have that is listed in Wix isn't on it, you can also just type in your own color option as well, just by typing in the color option and then clicking the enter sign. This part here, this is useful if you are showing color options, because you can show the option as colors, so it'll show up with the actual colors, and then you can also just give it the exact hex code if you have it, or RGB code if you have it, or you can just have it shown as a list. It won't show the color previews. We'll just leave it to color and then click on add. So now we've got the 3 color options. One thing you can do is connect images to each color option. And this is really useful, I think, for users. So what happens is when someone sees the 3 different color options and they click on, say, the purple color option, it'll automatically change the main product image to whatever product image that we add. So you would need to obviously add all the product images first. So for this example, we'll just add any image here. And you can see now, so when someone clicks on the purple color option, it'll automatically change to this color that we've, this image that we've seen. So they know exactly what each color would look like, because the image is connected to it. And you can do that. It doesn't have to be just for colors. If you added in like a size option, if you added in a weight option, whatever it is, you can connect images to each option type, and you can connect up to 15. So it's up to you how you want to use that. And the next thing then is you want to manage the pricing and inventory, because obviously sometimes the pricing for one option might be different, and maybe the stock for one option might be different, so you want to make sure that you can manage those individually. So to do that, you just want to click onto the toggle here, manage variants, and you can see the 3 different variants that we have. We have the black, white, and purple. And as you remember, so at the top we set the base pricing, so we'll remove on sale for now. We set the base price as 12. And when we come into manage variants, we need to just add in the price difference. So you don't add what the actual price is, you just add the difference. So for example, if the black hat is £5 more expensive than the base price, then we add 5 as the price difference, and you can see that's automatically changed the black price to 17. If the white option is say £2 less than the base price, then instead of adding in just normally, what you do is type in minus and then 2, and then you can see now that the price for the white variant is £10 because it's taken away 2. If the price of an option is the same as the base price, then you just add no difference, so you just leave it as 0 and it'll just stay the same as the base price. So just to clarify, again, you don't type in the actual amount, the cost of the variant, you just type in the cost difference based on what you've added in the base price here. And the other things you can do then is set their own cost of goods. So if it costs more to make the black one, by placeholder, it'll just automatically take what it actually costs in wherever you type in here. But if not, then you can also just type in the actual cost of goods. But again, that's not going to show on the front end. Customers won't see it, it's just for yourself. And then you can also type in individual SKU numbers. And the other thing you can do is change the status of the items, so whether they're in stock or out of stock. And if you want to be really specific, what you can do is track inventory. So instead of it saying in stock or out of stock, instead of you marking it as in stock or out of stock, you can just click track inventory, and you can actually give individual inventory numbers for each product. So you can add different stock quantities for the product, and you'd know yourself exactly how many of each product is left, and that way people aren't sort of overbuying or buying more than what you have. And it just means then you don't need to come in and keep track of what products are still in stock, what products are out of stock. You can just type in the exact amount, or the exact amount that you have, or the exact amount that you're wanting to sell, and then leave it like that. The other thing then you can do is the shipping weight, and this might not show on to customers, but what it'll do is it'll give a weight to each of the product variants, and it just means then when it comes to delivery, you can charge a different amount for certain products that weigh over certain amounts. So this might not be useful for clothing, but maybe if you're shipping something extremely heavy, if you're shipping furniture, for example, certain furniture might cost more to ship. So what you can do is you can add shipping weights, and then you can set up a rule that says if the product that they're buying weighs over a certain amount, then you can set a different price for that. So to do that, you just need to make sure that you add the shipping weight to the products. If not, if shipping weight isn't something that is going to cause any issues with delivery or anything like that, then you can just leave it blank. It's optional. So the other thing then is the visibility. So this is basically an option to allow you to hide a certain variant from the store. This might be useful if you're wanting to keep the variant on the back end, but maybe that variant isn't ready to be displayed yet, or you're not wanting to sell it yet. Instead of just removing the variant entirely, you can just hide the visibility. And that means then you don't have to remove the variant completely, you can just hide it, and then when you're ready to display it in stores again, you would just uncheck that to show the variant in store. Once you're happy with that, you just click apply, and that's essentially the product options set up here. To go back one, you can add something called custom text. So this will be good for products where you're offering some kind of customization. So for example, say for this hat, for example, if it's an option for people to maybe embroider their names onto it, you can offer that. You would obviously need to know what it is that you're adding onto the hat. So what you can do is you can add custom text field, and you can type in the name of it. So what name would you like on the hat? You give it a prompt basically, so people know what to type. And you can give it a character limit as well if you know how much space there is to write. That way people aren't adding in a completely long name or anything like that. And you can set it as a mandatory field. So if you know that this is a product that has customizations like that, you can make this a mandatory field so they can't place an order without typing in something in the field. If it's an option, then you would just uncheck that. This is useful if you are adding sort of customization options to your product, because it means they can do it while they're making an order and you don't have to chase up via email if they don't. And you can add sort of different kind of text fields if you want. I think there's a limit of 2, so you can have two customizations for each product that you have. The next thing then is pre-order. So this is just allowing whether or not you want to allow your customers to buy this product before it's released or when it's out of stock. This can be good for really popular items that maybe go in stock quickly or out of stock quickly, but you know you can get them back in, so it allows them to kind of pre-order. You would just switch that on and then fill in the details below. So there's a message that shows up, so tell customers when this product will be shipped or delivered. So this is essentially what the preview is for now. This product is currently in stock. It will be available for pre-order if it goes out of stock. And then you can set a pre-order limit as well. So if you're not wanting more than 50 people to pre-order the product, then you can just set that limit to 50. And if not, you just untoggle that and just leave pre-order the way it is. The other thing you can do is set up a subscription. So this will be good for products that maybe people will buy on like a monthly basis. Things like subscription box, where every month they get like a box of food or a box of clothes items, things like that. And you could set up a subscription, and that'll take payment from your customers on a monthly basis, or any kind of recurring basis that they can manage within their account. If you wanted to do that, you would just click on the create a subscription product, and then you would just give a subscription info. So for example, if you do say hat of the month, and you can give it a tagline, so subscribe and save 15%, or any kind of tagline that it is. And then this is where you fill in the actual subscription details. So maybe if it's a monthly product, you do repeats once every month. If it's a bi-monthly product, then twice every month. If it's once a year, 2 years, things like that. And when it expires, so maybe it's something that expires after a certain number of times, so a certain number of billing cycles, or if it's something that doesn't expire until someone were to cancel their account. And things like that. And then you can also add a discount, so you can offer a discount on the regular product price for customers who purchase this product. So basically, if you say maybe a 5% discount, It just means then people can enjoy this product. Either they can buy this product as a one-off, or they can set up a subscription, and then get a discount if they were to add it as a subscription. So again, this will be good for kind of subscription boxes for like food or clothes, coffee, things like that. And then you can choose if you want to offer this product as a whole as subscription only, or if they can buy a subscription or as a one-time purchase. So there's a lot of flexibility there. And if you don't want that, then you can just fully just delete the subscription and just leave this as a one-off product. And the other thing that you want to do then is these two boxes here. So this checkbox, show in online store. This is good if you're wanting to set up a product that's not ready to be purchased yet. So you don't want it to be shown on the site, but you don't want to, delete the product or manually have to add everything all over again. You can just have the product with all the information ready. And then once you're actually ready, all the information ready, uncheck that. And then once it's actually ready, then click on show in inline store. That way you can have the product details all ready. And then once the product itself is actually ready to be purchased, you would just click on a few buttons. You just click on show in inline store. And then it's ready for users to display. So it allows you to kind of prepare the product at least without having users see it before it's actually ready to be paid for. The next thing then is categories. So you can organize your products into different categories. Wix also call these collections, in case you're not seeing that. But what that means is you can set up different pages. So you can have a page for clothing, a page for ebooks, a page for food, whatever it is that you're selling, and then display those pages on your website so people can navigate your website a little bit better. If they're going onto your website and they know they just want to look at clothing, they can just go on the clothing page and it'll just show products that are associated with the clothing category. It also means on the shop page you can add different filters to allow users to see and explore your products a lot more easily, because they can filter by different categories. So these are categories I've already added. If there's a category that's yet to be added that you need to add, you just need to click on create category and then just type in the name of the category. Whatever it is, you just type in the name of the category and just click yes, and then just assign the product to that category. You can assign a product to more than one category. So if it's clothing and winter wear, if it's also part of accessories, you can. It depends on where you want that product to show on your website. And then you want to make sure then that you're adding the SEO settings as well. So if you click on edit SEO settings, so you might need to save first. So we'll just save this product. And click, if you've been taken back to dashboard, just click back into the product that you were just working on. And you can see, so edit SEO settings. And it'll show you the SEO settings currently for this page, for this product. So this is the preview on Google. This is what Google will see if the product comes in your search results. So you've got the name of the product and the name of the site. URL slug is fine. It usually just takes the product your name as a URL, and then you have the title tag, which is the name of the product and the site. What you can do then is, if you wanted to add maybe the location of your business, you can. That's good for Google as well, so then they know exactly where you're based, and it just means then if people who are also based here are more likely to find your product then. You can add basically to that as well. And then the next thing then is the meta description. So right now the meta description is blank, but you can add the name of the description of the product as the meta description. So really kind of describe this product and maybe your site a little, and that way people know once it's on the Google search results, people can see what this product is about without clicking onto it, and whether or not it's something that they're looking for. And it also means Google knows exactly what this product is about as well. And then you can click on the social share tab and see how it looks on social media, and things like that. So once you're done with the social, with the SEO settings, you can just click save. Other things you can do is the fulfilled by section. So this is if you're connecting it to a third-party fulfillment service. If not, it'll just mark yourself as the fulfilled by, so self-fulfilled. And the other thing you can do is type in the brand name. So if it's a branded product that you're selling, you can type in the brand name, and that might help your SEO visibility a little bit on site engines. If people are searching for a particular brand, then your site knows that your website does have products that have that particular brand, so you can add that there. And yeah, so that's the product setup, and you just want to click save to save all your changes. So that's how you add a physical product. If you wanted to add a digital file, it's very similar to physical, so you want to click on new product and then click on digital file, and just fill in the basic information that Wix kind of asks for. So for example, name of the product. So and this can be anything. If it's a video file, if it's a PDF file, anything like that, you just want to type in the name of the product, and then you want to click on upload file. So you can do an image file if it's a particular image that people are looking for, an audio file. This can be in the form of MP3, WAV file. You can see at the bottom, you can see what file formats are supported. With images, it's JPEG, PNG, and GIF. And then you've got the document files as well. If it's a PDF or a PowerPoint or doc, you can see at the bottom what formats are supported, and you can also upload a zip file. This would be good then if it's like a video file, for example, you can put it in a zip file and upload that. In this example, we'll just do the image file or the document file. So if I click on document, it'll look for the files that are already on my computer, or I can upload new files as well. I have a document uploaded already, so you'll just click add to product, and you can see the file is here. So customers will receive links to download their products in the thank you page along with an email. So they can check their file in the email, and they can also email and log in to the Wix membership section and find their file there. And same as before, you would type in the product info. Things like the name, you can add a ribbon as well, you can add a description, you can add images and videos as well to each of them. Maybe, so for example, in this case it's a recipe, so maybe you'll add images of the final result, things like that. And you can add additional info sections as well. And then you would add the pricing as normal. Unlike the previous, unlike adding a physical product, you don't get the option of product variants because it's not usually needed for digital files. So you just have the normal base file, and then you can have the on sale if it's a sale item, and the cost of goods as well. Similar to the physical products, the users aren't going to see the cost of goods. The next thing then is the track inventory and shipping. So for digital files, it's just inventory, as there's no shipping with the digital files. Again, they'll get emailed the digital file link once they've purchased it. So it's just inventory, and you can either set it as in stock or out of stock, or you can give it a direct inventory. This can be good then if you're wanting to run maybe a promotion that says first 50 customers get this product as a digital file. But again, because it is a digital file, then usually inventory isn't something that's applicable for this one. And again, you can choose to show it in online store if it's ready to be purchased, or if not, then uncheck it. And you can add different categories to it as well, whichever one that you want, and you can create categories. The SEO settings are the same, so you just click on SEO settings to add the meta description and the title tag, things like that. And that's really it. So a few differences, but more or less the same thing, and a lot less to do with digital files. You just need to upload the main file and add in any basic descriptions, and just save. So as you can see, you've got all the products here, and what you can do then is from the dashboard itself, you can hide it from the online store if it's not ready, or you can go into each product. And you can also duplicate existing products. So if there's a product that has a very similar product description, things like that, you can duplicate the existing product and then just edit the duplicate so that it's a different name. It might save some time that way, and sometimes you just have to add in the new product as it is. Sometimes you might have a few products where you need to edit, but it might take too long to go into each product and edit it, go into each product and edit it. What might be easier is if you were to export this product as a Excel sheet, and then you can edit. So for example, if you know the names of the products need to change, if you know the price variant and things like that, all of that need to change, you can edit that on an Excel sheet and then re-upload that Excel sheet. So for example, say I want to change the names of these products, but it's too much hassle to click into each of these products. It's quicker if I just seen it on a sheet and then just change it there. What I can do is go into the products, make sure all the products that I want to edit is here, and then where it says more actions, what you want to do is click on export, and you want to select all and click export. This will export all of your products as an Excel sheet that I can then open on Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, whatever Excel sheet that you're using, and it exports as a CSV file, and then I can now open that on my computer. So you can see now I've opened the sheet on my computer, and you can see the different fields that I've had to fill in. So the field name, description, collection, SKU, all of that is information that are on the Excel. We just have to then change the description. So for example, the names of the products, I can, instead of going into each product manually one by one on the Wix dashboard, I can just go into the name column here and just click on each individual product that I know I need to change. I can do the same thing with the description. So if I have all the product names here, I can just easily add in a description for each of them. And you can do the same thing with a few different products fields as well. So like you can add the SKU or change the SKU for certain products. You can change the ribbon or add ribbons. And then you can change the base price on all of them. What you want to make sure is that when you're changing the pricing, that you're changing it as a surcharge. So instead of changing the base price, you're changing the surcharge. So whether that's a surcharge of 5, -2, whatever it is, you're changing it here, or you can change the base price. You can change the inventory and things like that. So, but one thing that you need to make sure that you don't do is change the handle ID. If you were to change the handle ID of a certain product, it doesn't mean it'll change that product. What it'll do is it'll actually create a new product with that ID. So you can change everything else, but just not change the handle ID, because that'll either it'll just create a new product. But once you're happy with everything, what you need to do then is just go into File and Download, and make sure you download it as a CSV again. Wix won't accept any other format. So once it's downloaded as a CSV, you can then go back to your Wix dashboard. You can see here, and then under More Actions, then instead of Export, you're going to click Import. And it'll open up the Wix importer. So what you want to do is go into upload your products. So you want to click upload CSV file, and it'll open up the CSV files that you have currently on your computer, and you just want to click on the new one that you've just edited and click on open, and then click continue. And what it'll do is it'll check your file and just make sure you have everything. If there's any issues, it'll come up here in red that there's an issue with a certain product, and it'll tell you what column, what cell is throwing the issue. And if you've added any new products, it'll show you the new products, existing products, things like that, and then it'll import. So it'll import all those products all over again and replace the information with whatever you've done on the Excel sheet.
Now that you have your blog set up and you've got your site set up as well in the way you want it, and you've got the product set up as well, what's left to do then is to actually publish your site. So once your site is ready, then you need to publish it by using this publish button here, and this will actually put your site live. So you just click on publish, and your site will then be live, and it's using the domain that comes free with Wix. So with Wix, the domain that's free is usually the name of your account, .wixsite.com / the name of your site. and this is a fully like published live link. This is free for anyone to use. So this is essentially the site live, and I didn't have to pay anything at all. And I can, read blogs. I can, I can read blogs. I can go into the shop page and view products. So Wix is a good option if you have a basic sort of brochure build site and you're wanting to not pay to get that site up and running. Maybe you just want some online presence for now. Wix can help you get you some online presence. Some drawbacks about having a free site with Wix and not using one of their premium sites is that you can't connect your own custom domain. So as I mentioned previously, the domain that's being used is .wixsite.com / the name of your site. It's not a very user-friendly URL. It's not great for Google, and it can put people off from clicking onto your site. Just to go over some of Wix pricing. If you go back onto the dashboard and click on upgrade plan here, or compare plans. You can see that Wix have got 3 different kind of plans here. So the free plan will just get your site up and running. People can see your site, view your content, but you won't be able to connect to a custom domain. And the other thing that will happen is that you'll also get Wix ads placed around the site. This will be something like this. Something like up here as well. So you've got this little ad up here. You can't control that. That will always be placed on your site until you upgrade to one of the premium plans. So you can build the site for free, and you can publish it for free and have it live and be able to send it to clients and customers, but those are some of the drawbacks. In terms of website plans that Wix offers, so you can see there is split into 3. There's website plans, business and e-commerce plans, and then enterprise plans. With the enterprise plans, it's more for bigger businesses and large-scale businesses, and will require sort of like a custom quote. With the basic website plans, it's really good for showcasing maybe like your blogs and your portfolio. It's split into 2. So the most basic is the connect domain. And this will allow you to connect a custom domain to your site. So you purchase a domain either through Wix or GoDaddy or Namecheap, whatever it is, and you can connect that domain. And that will basically make the site a little bit more user-friendly to kind of access. The drawbacks with this one is that it will have Wix ads. So the ad I showed you earlier, it would still have that with the connect domain. The combo would be the most popular one, one of the most popular ones, and maybe a slightly better one, because you get the custom domain and also you get to remove the ads as well. So from this plan and up, all the ads are gone. The main difference between all of these plans is mainly the storage space and the bandwidth. Depending on how big your site is, you can get away with maybe just 3 GB. Maybe you need the 10 GB. I think the more videos that you have, the more product content that you have, you might fall into one of the unlimited or the VIP. And the bandwidth being the speed of the site. So again, this just depends on how big your site is, how much content you have. Maybe it's better to have the unlimited bandwidth. The other difference then between these ones is that the VIP one has priority customer care. So this kind of just allows you to submit a ticket with Wix at any time for free, and priority customer care just means that Wix will get back to you a little bit faster, but the 24/7 customer care, they will also get back to you. The other options then is the business and e-commerce plans, and this is only used if you are accepting payments on your site. So with the Wix stores, you can set up products and you can set up shop pages, but if you want people to actually buy and place orders on your site, you need to make sure you have a business and e-commerce plans. And again, the main difference between all of these 3 is the storage space. So depending on how much content that you have, you may need the 50 GB, or you think you can get away with the 20 GB. But you do get the custom domain with all of them as well, and you get the removed ads. But that's it for the Wix website. So you can see it is possible to get a really good looking website with Wix, with some drawback if you were to not use any of the premium plans. But it is possible with Wix, and it is a good option, especially if you don't have a lot of development skills, maybe you don't have a lot of time. The drag and drop feature is really helpful. The templates are readily available. So it is a good option to have. The next possible option for a free website is WordPress.com. There are two versions of WordPress. One is WordPress.com and WordPress.org, and they share some common ground but still have a lot of differences. WordPress itself is just like a CMS used to create websites, and you can showcase like online shops, blogs, things like that. It's free and it's open source, and it does power about 43% of the world's websites. WordPress.com is a hosting platform. It allows you to create your site, manage it for free, and the way it works is similar to how WordPress.org would work. WordPress.org is for anyone who wants a bit more flexibility. So WordPress.org is the actual software that anyone can download and use it for free. But to run it, you need your own hosting server and your own domain name. So this is where it gets maybe into more paid versions of the website platform. So the main difference between the two versions is the way you're hosted. So WordPress.com is a hosting platform, and they will host your site themselves. You don't need to worry about that. It's more of a sort of turnkey solution, while .org is a self-hosted solution, i.e. you take care of it yourself, but the software used to run both versions is the same. So they are still closely linked together. In this example, I'll show you how to build a website using WordPress.com to build a free website. So the first thing you want to do is go onto WordPress.com and click on Get Started. And it'll ask you to provide an email address, username, and a password. You can also continue with Google or with Apple. The next thing then you want to do is get a domain. So you can get a free 1-year domain registration with any paid annual plan, or you can connect a domain that you already own. What you can also do is just choose the domain later as well. The next thing then you want to do is choose a plan. So in this example, we're building a website for free, but just to go over quickly some of WordPress's hosting plans. You can see it's split between pay monthly and pay annually. So depending on how you're wanting to use your billing cycle, but essentially it's split into personal, premium, business, and e-commerce. Personal and being the cheapest, about £3 a month, £36 annually. You get the free domain, you get the free hosting, and you get to remove WordPress ads, and you can collect payments, and you can get customer support. Obviously, with the higher premium plan that you go, the more support that you get. You get things like Google Analytics interaction, SEO tools, database access, things like that, live chat support with the e-commerce one. So it just depends on which platform you kind of go for. If you scroll down on this page, there's some frequently asked questions, things like, is hosting included? Can I use a domain that you already own? All of this is included within this page as well. But again, in this example, we're just going to start off with the free site. And it's going to start building out the site, basically. So similar to Wix, it's going to ask you about your site goals and essentially your business needs, whether you want to sell online, if you want to write and publish, promote yourself, things like that. So you want to select everything that applies, or you can fully just skip to the dashboard if you wanted to. And then you want to say what your website is about. And you want to just give a sort of topic that you think would help. And if not, you can always just click on something else. But this will kind of help you in terms of giving suggestions, in terms of like picking your theme, things like that. And then you want to give a name. And you can give it a tagline as well. So explain what your store is about in a few words. Both of these are optional. The next thing then is to pick a design. So if you remember, we picked store and blog as our business goals. So it's showing me a lot of So you can see once it's loaded, it's gone directly to the blog page. So I'm just going to come out of there just to show you the dashboard a little bit. So this is your WordPress dashboard, and this is kind of an overview of your site, similar to like the Wix dashboard. You can preview your blogs and see what else is left to do with the site. It'll show you the next steps. So in terms of, so we've got the blog set up here, we've named our blog, we've previewed it, we've browsed our themes. The next few steps are to publish our post, enable post sharing, and launch our blog. And you can see there's different options here as well. So this is the home, this is how you get the dashboard. And then down here, you'll see things like upgrades. So this is how you can, if you wanted to upgrade your plans, add some add-ons and things like that. Again, so these add-ons would be paid. So if you want a premium themes, or if you want custom to be able to add custom CSS, things like that. The posts tab is where you'll be adding all of your blog pages. So these are the blogs that we have currently. So it comes with sort of optional and placeholder blogs. But essentially, if you wanted to add blogs or edit blogs, you'll go into posts and edit the blogs here. Then you've got the media library, and this is essentially all of the media that's been added to your site is saved here, similar to Wix. They're all saved here as well. The other thing that you need to do then is, if you wanted to add new, just click on add new, and you can add new bits of media as well from your computer. So you would just click on the image from your computer and just click upload to add the images onto your website, and then they're free to use on your blogs and in your pages. Then you've got the actual pages tab, and these are the pages that are on your website. So right now we just have the home page. It is possible to add a new page if you wanted to. If you wanted to add maybe an about page or a gallery page, something like that. The other thing you can see is WooCommerce. So this is the the plugin used to set up the e-commerce functionality. So you are free to kind of add products, edit products here as well. The only thing to make sure though is, if you want to start accepting payments similar to Wix, is that you need to have one of the WordPress business plans. Within the appearance tab, this is where you'll actually edit your theme if you wanted to. So if you go into appearance and then themes, you can see if there's more themes that you want to use instead of the one that you picked, you can always change it. You can see in the themes dashboard, so this one here that says active, this is the theme that we're currently using. But what you can do is switch to the free tab here and browse through thousands more different themes that are free to use and easily applied on your site. So if you click on free and look for one of the themes that we have available, for example this one here, all you need to do in order to use it is click into it, and you can see the site theme being applied as well. So you can change your theme if you wanted to. Another thing to watch out for are the users and the settings. So if you wanted to add another person onto the site to maybe help you write blogs, you can add different users to the site. So other people have access to your site as well. And then you've got the settings, and this is just basic things that where you can change like the site icon, you can change the title and add the tagline here as well. To view the site, once you've made some changes, all you need to do is go into my site here. You can see just underneath, this is the URL that's currently being used on your site. You click into here and you can see the site as is, and once with all the content added, and you can make any changes as well. What you can do is click visit site, and this is how the site looks for the user. What you can do is also click edit page and see what editing options that you have. So you can see this is the back end of the site, and this is sort of built for you with the theme. But what you can do is maybe change the content here, and you can add content here as well. one thing that's pretty useful with WordPress is that they have something called the Gutenberg editor, and this is what you'll use, and which will basically allow you to add things like paragraphs, headings. You can add images and things like that. It just makes it easier to add new sections. Unlike Wix though, it's not as flexible, it's not very drag and drop, but you do have that option if you wanted to. You can add more pages if you go back to the Pages tab and just click Add New Page. And you can see with the theme, it'll show you pre-designed pages that you can just select depending on what kind of page you're going for. You can just select a design theme as well, and then just go in and change the content, and then just click Publish in order to publish that page and put it on your site. The other thing that you want to do is add your blog. So if you go back into Posts, what you want to do is click Add New Posts. And you just want it similar to Wix, you just add the name of the post and the actual blog content. And again, you can just type directly or copy and paste it. And you do have some formatting options if you want to bold, if you want to add links, and you can also transform into headings. And then once you're done, you want to make sure that you add an image, and you can also add images within the post as well. So similar to Wix, you can add image tags, you can add gallery tags, and that way you're able to kind of publish content as well with images to kind of make the post more readable to users. Once you're done, you have all the pages on your site, you have all of the logos, and you have all the blogs. The only other thing left to do is to actually launch your site. If you come into Settings and scroll down to Launch Site, you can see here, so your site hasn't been launched yet, it's hidden from visitors. What you want to do is click Launch Site. And this is where so this is where you'll have basically some you might need to pay for. So the thing you want to do is choose a domain. With WordPress, you do get the first year free, so you can pick a domain that you like, and then you want to click on a site plan. So you can either pick one of the site plans, or you can click on a blog that you can use the free site plan as well. And then after that, you just want to check out with your domain, and that's essentially your site live. So with WordPress, the actual WordPress software is free, but you would need to get the domain as well, whether that's through WordPress or whether that's through GoDaddy, things like that. The domain is the only thing that you're paying for, but the hosting itself is free. And if not, you're using this website here. So your website is under this domain. So similar to how in Wix, the free domain is not really a custom domain, and it's not the most user-friendly one in the world. WordPress is the same. So depending on your site needs and your levels and your skill level and the time you have, whether Wix or WordPress might be a suitable option. There are other platforms out there that are similar. So for example, Squarespace and Shopify. Apart from Wix and WordPress, there are other options to build quick and easy to use websites, like Shopify is one of them. Shopify is an all-in-one commerce platform, so it is geared mainly for websites that are selling something, so e-commerce websites. similar to Wix, they come with a range of different themes. You can build and customize your online store, sell in multiple places, pop-up shops, brick and mortar locations, and across multiple channels like social media or even Google, to any kind of online marketplace. The only thing with Shopify is that they don't come with any free versions or free plans like WordPress or Wix do. Instead, they have a free trial, so you can enjoy 3 months of Spotify for £1 a month, or you can try it for free for 3 days. It's a good option especially if you are looking for focus on e-commerce platforms. Shopify have really good customer service, and they've got a range of different templates where you can use. So even if you're not that familiar with development and web development, you can still use the templates and customize them as you need to. After your trial, you can choose a pricing plan, and it's based on the size of and what stage your business is at. You can see here the different pricing that they have. You can do monthly or yearly. Both the yearly, obviously, you have more savings. The most popular being most basic, and you get everything you need to create your store, ship your products, and process your payments, and it's about £19 a month. You can see what's included, so up to 1,000 inventory, basic reports, and 2 staff accounts. So you can add 2 users in total to start editing your site. And here are just some of the rates for credit cards. So when someone pays by credit card, what fees they put on top of it. And it's cheaper, obviously, if you use the advanced, the credit card rates. However, obviously the plan is a little bit more expensive. And the main difference between all of them is the transaction fees, the cost of transaction fees, and the amount of reporting that you get. So you can get custom report builder, and you can get professional reports, and then you can also increase the amount of staff accounts that you have. And you can try all of these for free, but they don't have like a free payment plan. Another option is Squarespace. Squarespace is very similar to Wix. It allows you to create a customizable website or online store with kind of an all-in-one solution in terms of you can create your design and your hosting all in one place. They are all very easy to edit, no coding needed, and there's a bunch of templates as well. But similar to Shopify, there's no free hosting plan or any plan like that. You would need to use one of their templates, but they have lots of those as well, and it is very much for people who don't have a background in coding or development, but still need a website and would like to kind of design it themselves. It is a bit restrictive in terms of the sections that you can edit. I would say Wix is more flexible, but it is good for anything quick if you just need a space to display your website sort of online. Squarespace is also good, but similar to Shopify, it doesn't have any free pricing plans, but you can test it out with a free trial. So that's it. Those are the main kind of platforms. Again, so